Okay, so we're going to move on next to the suspension. Front suspension here pretty much is all shot. Like yeah, the ball joints mostly are just fucked. Just looking at that here, we've already got our wheels off. Let's just take a look at what we're looking at here. Looks like our front shocks are doing okay, but I might want to replace those too. I'll take a closer look at them. They are pretty oily and pretty gross looking, so I might just go ahead and replace those too, since we're working on that. Sway bar links, fucked. I'm glad we're changing those out. Ball joints, fucked. We already know those are bad because of the way the truck drives. And yeah, so we're going to change out these components. And we have a whole kit for that from 1A Auto. And so they already have a video on how to install that stuff, but it's not as cool as this video. So that's what we're going to be doing. Yeah. Big undertaking. Whole front end comes out. But that'll give us access to the four-wheel drive, which is currently not working. Oh shit. What's that? A CV axle. Oh boy. Yep. We're going to have to replace the CV axle now too. Damn. This box has been sitting in my shed since this winter, and they kind of fucked it up on the way here. Let's see what we got. 2 upper control arms with new bushings and ball joints already installed. There's tie rod 1, tie rod 2. Here's our sway bar links, inner tie rods. I'm thinking the best approach for this is to take the lower control arm off first, because when I do that, it's going to relieve the pressure off of this one, which then I won't have to use a jack to hold up the suspension while I'm releasing the upper ball joint here. And I'll just take everything out. The whole thing will go out of the way. We'll need to get some wire to hang the calipers up here, because we will not be replacing those or doing anything with those. We're just going to hang them up. Yeah, these look like the same shocks that we just replaced on the other side, so I'm guessing that they suck. Guess we'll get started. We've already got the wheels off, and we're supported on the frame. That wire, or that tube hanging down over there, that's a vacuum line. And it goes somewhere important. Fantastic little tool, I tell you. Makes this work so much easier. So much faster. For removing parts, there's no other way to go. Not so much for installing parts, unless you really know what you're doing. Oh, weird. Is that like a... Never seen that before. Is that a CV axle? That's a CV axle. Wow. No U-joint in the four-wheel drive axle, or drive shaft. Huh. Dust as fuck under here. So there's just one U-joint right there. And there's a CV axle on this side. That's interesting. Looks like a vacuum manifold kit. Yeah. That's why the four-wheel drive doesn't work. The vacuum system is not there. Our highly advanced cleaning tools. Oh no. I only need eye protection. So upon looking at this, we noticed that the ABS wire has been completely destroyed on here, so that will have to be replaced. Another junkyard item. Got quite a list going for the junkyard so far. But we're here now to take out the shock mount and the sway bar link. So I'll show you all how to do that really quick. Oh man. Really? Look what these fucking guys did. They bent the fucking washer. Hit something. I gotta fucking bend that back. But as of now, there's no way to get a ratchet on there because the washer is totally in the way. Now, see, some mechanics would do this on purpose to keep you from fucking with it. Alright. So, since this bolt wants to spin, and there's really no way to get a tool on there, we're just going to cut it. And that's how you get your sway bar links loose if they're being stubborn. Bam! And it's done. Nice. So you don't even have to cut all the way through it. Just get it through there so it cuts the bolt. It pops right out. 15 is the one. Love how easy this makes it. Oh man. Working on suspension would be just too difficult in my opinion without air impact tools. Some kind of impact tools. Oh man, that shock is fucked if I can move it that easily. Yep, it's done. Check this out over here. Got tire rubbing on the on that right there. So she's going to be running these tires, which are honestly 31s, are pretty damn big for a S10 at stock height. One of the cool things about being here on the Homestead is we've got lots of really old bottles, like this antique fingernail polish bottle. From what I can tell, it's all evaporated and whatever, but I figured it'd be the perfect bottle to hold some primer so I can mark torsion bars and other metal items, and I don't have to worry about you know, whether it's going to still be there when I'm done. So you see, that's all I did was just mark it. I already marked it with a marker, but now it's going to be permanent with the paint. If you clean the parts and, you know, do that stuff, which I usually like to do. Crawling under here, we have our torsion bar. This is what they call the pork chop, and that's what actually receives pressure from this bolt. It causes this pork chop to rotate upward, which is then interlocked into a hexagonal shape into the torsion bar, and it actually twists, puts torsion on the torsion bar. So this thing twists all the way up to there, and it actually puts a downward force onto the vehicle. So that is, instead of a coil spring, you have a bar that's twisted. The twisting action is your suspension. Alright. That's all we got to do for that. So now we can take the torsion bars out. I had to fucking finagle this thing. Hopefully that will fucking do it. Come on, you fucking bastard. Stay up here. Okay. Good. Now that we have the fucking clamp actually on, get it as square and as
close as you can because it's going to be tight. So yeah, I gotta grab a fucking big bright flashlight to shine on this because otherwise I have no idea if it's made contact with the bolt or not. So I gotta get up again and fucking go get more goddamn tools. Well, so now I gotta get up and get the exact fucking right tool. I don't see how this is supposed to work. Like, why do they put that dimple so fucking close? Engineers. Alright, so now we can finally take out the pork chop. Now we're going to slowly release the clamp. There's our pork chop. We just had to punch out the piece here and out comes the pork chop. So now our torsion bar can come out. So we just got to take it here and clear this cross member. Oh shit. It's not that easy. Fuck. How the hell? The transmission cross member is blocking it. So how the hell am I supposed to pull this down in any direction at all? Oh well, I'm gonna leave it for now and I'm gonna work on the other one. That was a lot easier. There's always a learning curve to everything, you know. Ow! God! That hurt. What the fuck was that anyway? Ow! 3/16 plate steel into the fucking noggin, man. Ah! Finally getting somewhere. Yeah. Alright, I think it's finally starting to move. Are we making any fucking progress here? Sure doesn't fucking feel like it. There we go. There's our pork chop. Oh, and it's out. Yeah. Sweet. Ow, god damn it. Fuck. It's a bad place to put a goddamn jack. I don't even need fucking rear jacks. Why the fuck do I even have them over here? I ought to just fucking jack the axle up again so I got fucking space to crawl around. Hit my head twice on this cocksucker now. This motherfucking thing. Well, that's nice. Let's see what's going on over here anyway. Who knows? Really fucking getting tired of crawling under cars, dude. If anybody wants to buy me a fucking lift, a 10,000 pound lift for Christmas. That'd be I accidentally hit the fucking stop button. Wow. So now what? Lower control arms are loose. I have half of mine to just disconnect the bolts. What the fuck? Oh. More shit. Man. S10s suck to work on compared to full-size Chevys. Everything is a fucking pain in the ass. It's all compact. Another day has passed. I am still wearing my same dirty clothes from yesterday. I haven't taken a shower yet this morning. But last night after the camera died, I took off. Got the ball joint separated finally. So that's out of there. It's good to go. The only problem now is I gotta take off the hub. That's what we're gonna do next here, is take off the hub. I gotta disconnect the tie rod. I'm gonna just go ahead and disconnect it at the relay rod up here. And I'll ultimately take the whole assembly out. But it'll be a lot easier to do so with the whole thing out, and I don't have to do it here on the ground. I can put it on the bench and press it out. That'll be a lot easier in my opinion, because we got a lot of work to do to the lower control arm anyway. We've got to press out the bushings if we can. I may opt to take those to a shop and have them press them out. It's usually about 20 bucks to have them do that. We'll see. I've done it before. I just had to make custom cups. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know how much pipe there is laying around. Not gonna get much work done doing this, kitty. Not gonna get a whole lot of work done. Let's try to get these brakes taken care of. Oh shit, I'm gonna need a bigger wrench than this. I have this little set of keys here. I'm gonna need like an 8. 3/8 Allen. Should be able to bust this loose. However, this is the part where I should wear mechanics gloves, because I'm likely to slap my knuckles against some shit here. Yep, it's been a minute since anybody's. Ow. Glad I had the gloves. Just pinched myself against the upper control arm. So if you don't have impact tools, the dead blow hammer can come in pretty handy for busting bolts and nuts loose. Man, but you got to be careful with that. You can hurt yourself, as with any of these tools. So I'll speed things up a little bit. And I have more leverage anyway, so I don't know why I didn't grab this in the first place. Sometimes I forget that I even have some of the tools that I have. Like, it's pretty bad. I have a lot of tools. I don't always work on cars. Sometimes I get tools and I never even open them. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna need that for this job coming up. And then I never do it. And the tools never get open. But they're there in case I need them. So now this should make the caliper come out. Or allow the caliper to come out. And it does. So we'll want to take that out. You can take the disc brakes or the brake pads out. Just so they won't fall out. I don't know if this comes off readily or not. It should, but sometimes they don't. You gotta bust them loose. Our next step is we gotta pop off the, actually we'll take the tie rod off next and then move on to the hub. This is just a good old 18. Disconnecting the tie rod, inner tie rod from the relay rod. Taking the nut off is not that hard though. It is pretty damn tight though. Don't know if that's going to do it. I said we may have to get out of the puller and use that to push it out. So I guess we could grab on right there. Sure doesn't give us much space, but that's what the Chilton's manual said to do. 36 millimeters. Goes on there, but look how sloppy that is. That's what made me like, yeah, maybe it's 35 or 1 3/8, but I guess it's just an old fucking worn out bolt, so it is what it is. It's working. I think I might need a little more penetrating oil. And unfortunately, more torque. This isn't going to cut it. I'm going to have to bring over the other air hose. There's no way. Yay. Now that that's out of the way, I can get the pickle fork under here without worrying about damaging that wire. Because I really need to have it right here where I can pound it. There it goes. Nice. Now that that's separated, I'll take that cast on it the rest of the way off of there. Hey, we ought to be able to get our hub off now. Oh, we got some air. There it is. Is that really what I think? Yeah, fucking 3.9, man. That thing is just down. It's like pretty worn. There's a washer in there. So we're gonna have to press this out. I'm pretty sure we'll need a 3-jaw puller to get that out, to pull the hub off and everything of here. So I'm going to just put this underneath everything. Maybe I'll push it down first. So I don't want to lift all that weight. Sitting down. This jack isn't using, it could use an overhaul. Yeah, she really needs a lift. She needs a suspension lift on this thing. She's going to be running these 31-inch tires on here. She's going to need at least a 1 or 2-inch lift. Might be able to give her some blocks or something underneath, but that's all we need. Not even that. All right. Whoops. Don't want to lose our castle nut. Okay. That's that. Cool. So now pretty much the only thing holding this bad boy on is the CV axle. And in my experience, if you just pull these fuckers out, they just kind of come out. In my experience anyway. This one, I think you have to unbolt all the way over there, so I'm going to go ahead and take out the upper control arm and the shock now, because you can kind of see, look at this mess that I've made here. Looks like our upper ball joint was fine. Oh, it did have a rip in it. It had a rip. Yeah, I'm glad I'm replacing these. And I didn't do that with the pickle fork either. I only did. You can see that's the damage that is happening from a pickle fork on the very bottom here. I'm looking for damage like up inside of the cup, and you can see that it was torn right there, losing grease. So it's always good to replace. If you're going to replace one ball joint, change them all. Just change everything. I mean, do you really want to come in here again and do this all over again? Because you have to get to anything. Yeah, so now the upper bolts. These guys. I suppose I'll have to take that damn shock out first. Can't really get in there. Out with ya. One front shock, totally shot. So that's a little oil in it. Okay. And that's the upper control arm, gone. I've got a new one to put in there that already has new bushings and a new ball joint. So now all that's left is taking this hub off. And literally the only thing holding it in place is the CV axle, which is totally fucked. I can see now. And it looks like it comes off way back there by the differential. I gotta take out several bolts to take that out, but I should be able to just pop it out of this part here with a fucking sledgehammer. Get this washer out of here. Oh, that's one way to do it. If your CV axle is busted like this one, it just comes right out.
There's the CV axle, half of it. The other half is stuck in there. It's still good. It could actually be fixed. It just needs a new boot.
Look at this shit. Now you gotta get a tiny little screwdriver in addition to disconnecting the wire. That's the ABS wire.
I just want it out of the way so I don't damage it. That also removes the brake line too, but I'm just gonna go ahead and put this back since we don't want to do that.
So now we have all that's left is the lower control arm, which we have hanging here. This tie rod, which we'll just beat out with the pickle fork real quick here. Don't intend on keeping that. And then we have to get in deep here and remove this axle shaft, because even if we do change the CV axle, we're going to have to change that out. But I'll tell you what, CV axle kits are about 1/3 of the price of a new CV axle, so something to keep in mind. If it's easy to rebuild it, and you can, in this case, you just slide it in and go, like there's nothing else to rebuild really, everything else is fine. Or you can get a new one, passenger side, but it's going to have that long shaft there. You've got to disconnect the 4-wheel drive actuator. And now that I can lower this, I can go ahead and take the torsion bar out finally too. Okay, now the torsion bar can come out, only because it's right there. We just take the whole fucking assembly out, basically. And that's how we'll have to put it back in. See how the torsion bar is still in there? We'll have to assemble it like that by literally putting the torsion bar in and then putting the whole thing back up into the truck. Yeah. Use the old butterfly impact. It's a pretty nice tool to have for shit like this. Nice. I'm leaving that bolt in there. Because that's going to be one motherfucker to start, man. To tighten up anyway. Holy. So now let's see what's up. Hey, there we are. Oh shit. So that's the actuator assembly there. All right. That's what turns our hubs on.